A friend of mine recently got to me on social media and said, I think you've set a Guinness Book of World Records because you're always asking for consecutive people to be fired. And I answered him back. I said, well, in this case, I'm spot on. In this case, I am. You must get rid of Mike McDaniel. You must get him out of the mix because with a 1-4 record, you have no season to save. You're not going to make the playoffs. It is statistically possible, but is it rationally possible? Hell no. Certainly not without Tyreek Hill now, who would have been great trade bait. Some people are indicating that maybe the Dolphins should go on a trade fest at this point, clean out what they got, and maybe start setting up for next year. It's not a bad idea. But in the same breath, you are absolutely lifting your leg and taking a dump on all those fans who the fact that you're going to put a substandard football team on the football field and you're still going to ask them to pay A-plus prices? That's not the way it works. If you're the Dolphins, you have to put a competitive team on the field, and right now, they're barely competitive. And if you do that where you bail out some of your players, and maybe Tua has some trade value, I don't know, I doubt it, but if you bail out some players right now, set up with draft picks. Ooh, we're going to set up for draft picks. It's going to make us better next year. No, it doesn't. If the Dolphins are going to set up in that method, then you're looking at least 2 more seasons before this team becomes competitive. You then have to rebuild, but they're looking at a complete rebuild anyway. Because if you get rid of McDaniel, and if you get rid of Chris Greer, you are going to have 2 guys that are in charge who are going to rebuild the team in their sight, in their method, how they want it rebuilt. The new general manager is going to bring in different people. He's going to bring in different assistants. So is the new manager, the new head coach rather. The new head coach will come in. He'll want a staff built around him. That's another culture change. The toxic culture of the Miami Dolphins is right now worse than any other team in the National Football League. And it needs to be cleaned out. But again, every time I say that, and because this is a pseudo two-way conversation, every time I say that, I think to myself, okay, let's go ahead and clean them out. It's the same thing in college. Let's clean them out. We'll rebuild through the NIL. We'll rebuild through the transfer portal. It's not that easy. I have talked to 3 agents, 3, count them, NFL agents who have players. All 3 of these agents have told me that they would not, under any circumstance, one agent told me in those words, under any circumstance, would they suggest to their clients that they play for the Miami Dolphins.